The debate over taxes, entitlement spending, and a congressional super committee spilled into the Heartland this week as top presidential candidates pressed the flesh at the Iowa State Fair.
I happen to think that the reason that this recession was deeper than it could have been, and the recovery is more tepid than it should have been, is because the president just doesn't understand that his policies did the exact opposite of what the nation needed.
Republican frontrunner Mitt Romney made a rare 2011 foray into Iowa for Thursday's presidential debate and caught the ire of protesters.
And so, I'm glad you're on Social Security. Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. You know what? I get a chance. I can let you speak in a moment.
You came here to listen to the people.
No. I came here to speak, and you'll get to ask a question. Hold on a second.
What are you going to do to strengthen Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid without cutting benefits?
You ready for my answer? I'm not going to raise taxes. That's my answer. I'm not going to raise taxes. And if you want somebody that can raise taxes, you can vote for Barack Obama. We have to make sure that the promises we make in Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare are promises we can keep. And there are various ways of doing that. One is we could raise taxes on people. That's not the way. Corporations are people, my friend. We can raise taxes on. Of course they are. Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people.
The campaign rhetoric was fueled by an escalating political battle in early primary states and back in Washington. Congressional leaders are spending their August recess explaining the ins and outs of the last-minute debt ceiling agreement. A crucial piece of the debt deal, a 12-member bipartisan super committee of House and Senate lawmakers, was announced this week. Senate Republicans chose John Kyle of Arizona, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, and Rob Portman of Ohio. Senate Democrats selected John Kerry of Massachusetts, Patty Murray of Washington, and Max Baucus of Montana. House Speaker John Boehner selected 3 Republicans, Jeb Hensnarling of Texas, as well as Dave Camp and Fred Upton, both Michigan representatives. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi chose Representatives James Clyburn of South Carolina, Chris Von Hollen of Maryland, and Xavier Becerra of California. The super committee mix of party stalwarts and potential deal makers have until Thanksgiving week to announce a plan to slash an additional $1.5 trillion off the national debt in 10 years. Some congressional leaders have warned rural Americans that the super committee could take aim at farm programs. Iowa Senator Charles Grassley, a staunch defender of agricultural programs, argues that spending from every department is on the table.
I think it's going to be very, very essential that we have this pretty well thought out farm program yet this fall, so we can give recommendations to the super committee what they ought to include in agriculture. Now, they could ignore it, but I think most of them will want to work with the respective committees to make sure that the expertise of the committees is worked into the final product of the super committee.
Despite the concern of some in political circles regarding the outcome of any super committee deal, Grassley remains positive.
I do like it. I think they're very determined people to get something done. And that's the sort of thing that you have to have if you're going to reduce another 1 2/10 trillion from prospective spending.